why should couples schedule date nights?
There's a few reasons. One of the most significant, I think, and we've talked about this before in the realm of other relationships, is there's something about deliberateness that can't be underplayed. Like if you don't plan it, it doesn't happen.
That sounds pretty freaking heavy. So deliberateness can't be underplayed.
I don't think it can be. It's like when I told that story about how my dad made sure we always had dinner on Thursday nights because he was like,
Right.
if you don't do it, then 6 weeks will go by and you won't do it. So there's something, if you do it every week and that's your goal, and for us that's been easy, then it's not every time is it going to be special, but there is some deliberateness to like, this is our time. We're a couple during this time. We're always going to do this. We're going to make time for each other away from the house to just be together and feel like a couple every week.
Yeah. Now I tell you, so how did it get started with us with date night? It happened early on, right? Because I used to have a medical appointment on Tuesday nights right after work, and you wanted to go along, and we just kind of afterwards we went out to eat and what have you, and it became our date night.
Right. Yeah. We almost always had a date on Tuesday when we were dating because of your appointment. So,
and then we've just kept it over time, right? I mean,
well, even after we got married, you still had that appointment. So I would go with you on Tuesday and then we go out to eat. And so another thing was, we've mentioned before on the show that our oldest son has autism. And so even though we're, an older couple, we have to get him covered sometimes in order to go out.
Yeah. And that can be a pain in the ass.
It can.
Right?
So I always had coverage for him until 8 or 9 o'clock on Tuesday night. So that became a really easy time for us to go out and have dinner without any kids.
So that's kind of how we naturally fell into it. But it's become very important to us, right?
Right.
I mean, if all else, to me, it seems like if all else failed, because life just throws everything at you, right? I mean, the weekends coming on, Saturday, we might have something where we're getting together with friends or something. I'll get behind on yard work and things around the house that need to be done. It's very easy for time to start slipping by, and and a couple really hasn't gone on a date. And I think it's even tougher later in the relationship. I think treating your spouse like a date is probably pretty easy when it's a new relationship, right? Because you're just kind of coming out of the dating thing. But as the years start ticking by, I think it's easy for couples to kind of forget that you need to be dating your spouse.
Definitely. We also usually do something that couple like on the weekend. So we're older, so we're able to do that. I realize not everybody can do that. So our Tuesday night date night, we've been married 6 years now, right? We just had an anniversary.
Right.
We still do this. Even though sometimes it's gotten mundane, sometimes we forget, we can't figure out where we're going to go. Sometimes it's just going to Taco Tuesday at the Whiskey Business.
Yeah.
And sometimes we're tired. It's Tuesday night, and we don't, but we do it. We do it no matter what. And we try to make it a little bit special. If it hasn't been great for a couple of weeks, we try to
do something nicer.
Do something nicer,
yeah, absolutely. Like, this week we went to that restaurant we really like. It's kind of fancy, and it had been a while since we've been someplace like that. Because I think the last couple of weeks I've been really tired from working.
Well, we were on vacation for 2 weeks. Yeah.
And our situation is, we've kind of exploited the general area where we live. So to go somewhere that you think is really nice, we kind of got to drive away.
We definitely have our favorite places to go. But getting back to why we do it, I just think it's important that we still do it. If we stopped doing it, I think we would miss it. I just think it's important that we have that little bit of time. Our youngest son still lives at home with us. He's in college, so he has dinner with us most nights. My son with autism is here on and off. So I think it's important just to get away from the house and to be together.
Yeah.
Even if we just go get a pizza. And then, like I said, we also have kind of more special date nights on the weekends. We might, stay out till late, go someplace nice on the weekend. But lots of times, like you said, we're pretty social, so we get together with friends. It's not always just the two of us.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah.
And we do things with our kids on the weekend too sometimes.
We do.
And we enjoy it.
We do. We love it.
We love it. Last weekend, we had a birthday dinner.
Yeah, we did have a birthday.
We had a birthday dinner for our oldest.
Yeah, one of my daughters.
Yeah, our oldest daughter is just turned 33, so we went out for birthday dinner with her. And then Alec, my son with autism, is home with us, so we take him out with us usually on the weekend. We go do go out to dinner or go hear music or something and take him with us.
Yeah.
So I think another reason that we do it is that when you're dating and you have kids, you kind of get used to that dynamic. I think it's harder for couples that have young kids. I mean, just have kids together.
Sure, yeah.
It's really easy because it's hard to find a babysitter if you don't have family to help.
But you know what? I think in that situation, maybe it's even more important.
It is.
You know?
I definitely think it is more important, and to get away from the house. Like I said, I had someone tell me once that they had like 3 or 4 kids, and one of them had a disability, and the only time they had help was Saturday morning. So all she and her husband did was they would go out to coffee on Saturday morning. That's really the only time they had to get away, and they'd just go sit.
But they did their
thing.
Yeah,
so they were away from home, and it was just the 2 of them.
Yeah, that's a tough situation, but that seems to be a reasonable solution. At least there's something you're doing every week together.
Yeah, and I think getting away from the house. I mean, if you can't, I think you can put the kids to bed and just plan, time to sit on the back porch and have a glass of wine or whatever your thing is.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of ways you could do it, but I do think having a regular date night with your spouse I've found it to be beneficial for the relationship.
It's really easy to get distracted if you're home.
Because when I'm home, there's always a ton of things. I mean, I've got a list that can't even be completed.
You do, and we both do, but you just feel more compelled to make sure it gets done than I do. That's true. Yeah. But so like, even if we have a romantic dinner at home, after dinner, you feel like you need to get something done. It's not like we're just, so it's not the same.
So if you like watching our show, do us a big favor and subscribe to the channel, man. Click like and hang out. We got some good shows coming up. How would you wrap up the whole idea of having date nights scheduled every week?
I think, like I said, I just think it's very important that you have a little bit of time every week, that you're a couple, that you hang out together, that you enjoy each other, that you remember why you like each other, that you're not thinking about chores or kids or problems, that you're just...
And you know what? Your example with the couple that got no time other than Saturday morning, that's a good example about how any couple can make it work. Make the time, make it happen.
Yeah, like I said, we go out to dinner, but take a walk, do anything. Just, take a walk and hold hands. Just do something where it's just the 2 of you, you're away from home, and you're focused on each other.